Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. I wasn't even going to do a video about this particular subject, but I guess it's going to coincide with some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about later on. But this is a reaction video, and I guess this happened a few days ago. And I just wanted to give my response to it. I'm not going to play audio from the actual video, but I'm going to break it down and give you analysis of what happened. Basically, Katt Williams was on a talk show, and I heard he wasn't even supposed to be the actual guest. He was actually there with a friend of his who happened to be a comedian, and apparently this took place in Atlanta because he was talking about he had a show at the State Farm Arena. But what happened was basically you had an individual. The show is called Indy Wanda in the Morning. Now, I don't know who this person is, but she's a comedian. So she's in the same, field as Katt Williams. So, in most cases, you think whenever comedians get together, it's going to be funny. But what happened was she started something with Katt Williams that she couldn't finish. And then in typical fashion, she tried to play victim. And then she tried to, get real personal. And basically, Katt Williams only dished out the same energy that she directed towards him. And it ended very bad for her. Now, basically, it all started when they was doing an interview and she asked Katt Williams about his children. Katt Williams said he has 7 children. I think he said 4 girls, 3 boys. And she basically asked a question about, what type of meals he make his children. And before he could finish answering, she, for some reason, got rude and started being condescending. And then after that, that's when it went all downhill. And Katt Williams was talking about some things that happened with him, and we know Katt Williams had multiple issues with the law. And basically, he said he had 19 felonies. Now, this goes on for a few minutes of them going back and forth. And when the lady wasn't outwitting Katt Williams, then she started to get personal. She started to make jokes about his height, about his hair. And then she did the typical, predictable woman move when it comes to a man. She started making remarks about his sexuality and calling him a felon and all that kind of stuff. And boy, it really went bad. I'm talking about Katt just like lit her up like a Christmas tree. All the way up until they just, had to go to commercial. But, Katt destroyed her. Now, they saying that later on that this woman's husband ran up on Katt Williams. And you thinking to yourself, okay, well, why did he run up on her? I know he was defending his wife. But this is a little bit different from Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. What Chris Rock did was just mean-spirited. And he was trying to, humiliate her. And Jada Pinkett had a condition where this lady started everything, and basically Katt Williams was just defending himself. And then he made a little joke, and it was funny too. And like I said, she should have just laughed it off. And she was, when he said, well, what do you like to make your children? And she talked about some broccoli. He said, well, who in the hell can't make broccoli? Which, that's true. He said it doesn't take a master chef to make broccoli. I'm just paraphrasing. And then she got mad. Now, this was supposed to be a little bit of a roaster session, but she started to hit below the belt. Like I said, that's a woman's go-to move. Whenever she isn't winning a debate or winning an argument, or she feels like she's getting outwitted, then she wants to either pull the gender card or she wants to pulled a sexuality card with it. Oh, you're gay. You're gay. Oh, you're long hair. Then she started calling him ma'am and all that kind of stuff, just flat out disrespecting him. So he had to defend himself. Like, that's a woman's go-to move. And this is the reason why I don't do debates, because I've had women contact me and ask me to come on their show, and I've turned them down because I know how this is going to go. You know, and a lot of times they try to ambush you. What they'll try to do, they'll try to bring you on there, and it'll be like what the cornballs of what are they called? I forgot what they call themselves on Fox Soul. You know, that program nobody watches, where basically they tried to ambush Ice Cube, and that's what they'll do. And I wasn't going for that. I wasn't going to go on nobody's outlet, and then they don't let me talk, and they talk over me and stuff. And, you know, so it wasn't even no use. I always turn those type of shows down. I've been invited on a few of those shows, and some of them are people that have made, you know, major waves on YouTube. And I just said, no, I'm good. And of course they do the typical, oh, you're scared. Scared of what? Scared of what? One thing, when I do stuff, I'm prepared. I take notes and I'm ready. And I know I would have cooked them, and then it would have went that direction, or they would have did, oh, who talks to a woman now? Oh, I'm a woman. Gender never plays a role if you think you're winning the argument. But then if the man is winning, then all of a sudden you're a bully. You're this. Like I said, it happened to Kevin Samuels when he was winning a debate. He got called out his name, or he got called a bully. They do it to the lead attorney. They do it to Andrew Tate. That's their go-to move. So that's why I don't even participate in that kind of stuff, because I know where it always ends. It's very difficult to have adult conversation with women sometimes, and in particularly black women, which I hate, because we should be able to have a discussion without it getting personal. But she's supposed to be a comedian, and like I said, she started it and Katt Williams finished it. It ended real bad. But for her to sit up there and try to bring her husband into it, that was weak, and that was real weak on her. You know, she should have just took her L and left it alone. But like I said, I understand she probably, you know, put him in a bad position where he felt like he had to do something. But at the same time, she shouldn't have said nothing to the dude. She wasn't prepared for what was going to happen after she made that remark. She should have just kept her mouth shut. But that's typical. Anyway, let me know what you think. This is your boy Town Biz. I am out. Boom.